Hello, it is with great pleasure that we are at this remarkable conference. We would like to thank the organizers for this extraordinary opportunity to share our research. I'm Mónica Lourenço.
And I'm Vera Silva.
And we come from the Department of Education and Psychology at the University of Aveiro in Portugal. Our presentation is organized in the following way. Firstly, we will contextualize our study by taking a glance at the literature on global citizenship education, peace education, and the Awakening to Languages approach. Secondly, we'll focus on the methodology used. Then we will share the results achieved and highlight some key ideas before we conclude. I'm sure you have all heard about global citizenship education, GCE. It is an extensively discussed concept. Nevertheless, there are multiple, sometimes conflicting interpretations of it. Since it is impossible to display them all here, we selected this one by UNESCO, which best suits our study. Global citizenship education is a framing paradigm which encapsulates how education can develop the knowledge, skills, values, and attitudes learners need for securing a world which is more just, peaceful, tolerant, inclusive, secure, and sustainable. GCE is deeply rooted in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and it is at the center of the Agenda 2030, namely Target 4.7 of the SDGs, which advocate that by 2030, it is fundamental to ensure that all learners are provided with the knowledge and skills to promote sustainable development, including, among others, through a culture of peace and nonviolence, global citizenship, and appreciation of cultural diversity. GCE helps individuals understand the structural causes of inequalities at the global level and dismantle power relations with a view to the common good. Therefore, it is related to peace education, which is one of the most basic yet threatened rights, as the current events show. We cannot talk about peace without mentioning two major contributors to peace studies, John Galton and Jesus Rodrigues Harris. Galton drew a distinction between two types of peace, negative and positive. Negative peace refers to the absence of violence or fear of violence, whereas positive peace is the absence of structural violence, which requires egalitarian distribution of power and resources so as to achieve both development and social justice. In a similar way, Harris postulates that peace education implies positive peace, which is oriented towards transformation and social change. It should be based on play and laughter to foster since childhood tolerance of diversity, communication, cooperation, and empathy. It is important and necessary, both educationally and socioculturally, in order to build a fairer society. To educate for positive peace, it is fundamental, amongst other aspects, to foster people's respect and valorization of diversity. This is where the Awakening to Languages approach comes in. But what is ATL? According to Cambelier, ATL is when part of the activities conducted by teachers concern languages that the school does not intend to teach, which may or may not be the mother tongues of some pupils. The aim of ATL is to prepare students for language learning, preferably at a young age, in order to develop language culture, as well as open attitudes in citizenship education, promoting positive acceptance of diversity and a culture of peace. The Council of Europe points out preschoolers and primary school children as the preferable age groups when it comes to fostering these values and attitudes. Recent studies confirm this idea. For instance, Hancock conducted a study in a small community preschool serving mainly African American children. The study, which focused on introducing a GCE curriculum, revealed that by understanding the bonds they have with children around the world, this group was able to develop empathy and respect for others, as well as to counter negative conceptions of self. The researcher concluded that validation, agency, collaboration, and self-care are useful tools for children to engage in the world, reinforcing their self-identity and developing strong relationships. Trick et al. Studied Australian preschoolers in an education context that welcomes GCE as well as lifelong learning. They concluded that since young children become exposed to the attitudes and behaviors associated with global citizenry and lifelong learning, they mature more rapidly as thinkers and doers. Still, empirical studies focusing on GCE pedagogies for the early years and aiming to promote positive peace are still lacking, particularly with vulnerable groups of children, such as the ones in residential care.
Addressing this context, our qualitative case study aimed to respond to the following research question. What is the contribution of the Awakening to Languages approach in the development of attitudes and values conducive to global citizenship and positive peace by preschool-aged children in residential care? In particular, we aim to understand the contribution of an ATL project in the development of the child's identity, self-knowledge, and self-esteem, in fostering respect for others and valorization of linguistic and cultural diversity, and promoting communication and collaboration skills. In order to achieve these aims, we applied questionnaires, conducted interviews, collected documents pertaining to the children's activities and their feedback about the sessions, audio recorded the sessions, and took field notes. Data were submitted to statistical and content analysis. The basis for the study was an intervention project titled A House Where We All Fit, developed with children aged 3 to 6 living in residential care houses belonging to a religious congregation in 3 different countries, Portugal, Colombia, and Tanzania. We focused on fostering children's reflection about the world around them and their experiences on 3 topics: references, experiences, and emotions. With these themes in mind, a virtual exchange between the children living in the houses of the participating countries was established by sharing their videos. In Portugal, the project involved a group of 6 children. It lasted 5 months and included 13 face-to-face sessions with a researcher held in the house. The sessions in Colombia and Tanzania were led by the sisters of the congregation in 2 face-to-face sessions with the children, 5 in Colombia and 4 in Tanzania. The sessions in Portugal were divided into 4 phases. The first one, named My World, Eat, Play, Feel, focused on the children as individuals and involved one-to-one conversations between the researcher and the child, answering a questionnaire about their beliefs regarding children in the world, drawings about their identity, as well as recording their presentation in their own mother tongue. In the second and third phases, we explored the world out there through group conversations and child-oriented activities, such as preparing a fruit salad, games, songs, and stories in different languages, such as Portuguese, English, French, Spanish, Italian, Swahili, Welsh, Chinese, Ukrainian, and Russian. These later 2 were not initially contemplated, but were included per the children's suggestion in light of the current events. The last phase included activities such as playing games and watching multilingual videos in Spanish and Swahili, the mother tongues of Colombian and Tanzanian children, and decorating a cardboard house, a metaphor of planet Earth. For the decoration, the children used old drawings made in Portugal, Colombia, and Tanzania, arts and crafts related to nature, words in different languages. The common house had no doors and was open to everyone, so a bridge was built with the word peace in different languages. Once the project was completed, the children filled the initial questionnaire once again, and their replies were compared. Most striking is the fact that in their initial perceptions, half of the children agreed that all children spoke the same language and ate the same fruit. After the program, all disagreed, explaining that they are from other countries and speak different languages. Children's feedback at the end of each phase focused on what they liked the most, what they learned, and what they wanted to know or do. Children mentioned they learned about planet Earth, the natural world, the diversity of countries, people, languages, and cultures, the importance of respect, empathy, and collaboration, and of course, how to prepare a fruit salad. They showed interest in learning more about languages, how to read and write, how to build a house, and the meaning of peace. Results from content analysis suggest that there were significant improvements in children's identity, self-knowledge, self-esteem, valorization of diversity, respect, communication, and collaboration. Regarding identity and self-knowledge, children got to know themselves better. They became aware that all of them shared things in common, regardless of where they come from. The fact that they could perform an adult's task, preparing the fruit salad, was also extremely important and raised their self-esteem. Their eagerness to learn more about the diversity of people, languages, and cultures grew stronger. They found similarities and differences between the languages and concluded that we may speak different languages, come from different countries, but we can all be friends. They also developed communication skills, talking with each other and with adults in the house. They helped each other, shared things, were connected, and were happy. To conclude, we can state that the ATL program proved to be successful in promoting children's awareness of and respect for diversity, sensitizing, motivating, and opening children to foreign languages and cultures, increasing curiosity about the world, constructing and broadening their linguistic and cultural repertoire, improving their identity, self-awareness, self-confidence, and self-esteem, and developing a broader sense of belonging. This suggests that it is important to keep researching on this topic, particularly with vulnerable groups of children whose voices are often absent in the literature, in order to promote their self-awareness, self-confidence, self-esteem, and empathy, so that they can play a defining role in building more peaceful, respectful, inclusive, and secure societies.
Thank you.